Ostatni cykl tego festiwalu, czyli Modern Now, to tak naprawdę kwintesencja tego, co na tym festiwalu ważne, tego tak naprawdę, w którym kierunku staramy się patrzeć, przełamując te kolejne granice i właściwie zacierając te granice pomiędzy akademikami i twórcami muzyki elektronicznej czy alternatywnej. Rozpoczynamy od wspólnego projektu Squarepushera z orkiestrą pod dyrekcją Charlesa Hazelwooda. Projekt Ufabulum, w ramach którego tak naprawdę poznamy inspirację Squarepushera, czyli muzykę Ligetiego, Messiena czy Xenakisa, a z kolei później usłyszymy najnowszy krążek Squarepushera, przearanżowany na nowo z udziałem żywych instrumentów, pełnej orkiestry z podwójnym drewnem czy blachą.
The concert's a very exciting one because it brings together two very different kind of entities. In the centre, if you like, you have Squarepusher, I think without doubt the most exciting voice in electronic music currently in the world. His music is full of seismic beats and very intense, very, very multi-layered and complex textures. Now the question is, what would happen if you took an orchestra and put them into that world which is very digital, very electronic, very precise and very complex. Now the danger with fusion projects, so-called, often is that the orchestra end up feeling a bit like Daddy at the Disco. You know, they feel like a kind of slightly embarrassing, anachronistic unit that sits at the back of the stage and plays long chords while the pop star looks cool at the front. Now we're not interested in that. We're trying to create a new hybrid music which celebrates some of the essence of Squarepusher and the coloristic possibility of an orchestra. So it's a really thrilling new kind of musical context.
I mean, music for me is just something that I've done. It's like breathing. It's not something that I sit down and particularly have to get inspiration to do. It's a way of life for me. So I'm not sort of searching for ideas. I've already got too many ideas. You know, it's somehow aggravating to sort of be having a probably, you know, a lifespan that will be too short to realise all these things. I've got 300 years worth of ideas to get through, and you know, we'll see how many I get through. But I don't know. You know, I'm not looking for inspiration. It's already there. You know, it's the world, as you know, as you say, it's all around us. I think in order to make sense of the world, we need limits. We make sense of the world through boundaries. We divide up areas of experience. People talk about removing boundaries and taking away limits, but actually I think the world is only comprehensible with some kind of delineations in areas of experience. And talking about music particularly, I like the idea of pushing against these things, but I don't pretend I can remove them. I think it's conceivable.
Collaborations work really, really well. I mean, Tom and I are old friends, and we've been talking about a project along these lines for a great many years. And it all came to fruition last year in London, and we premiered the Ufabulum with the orchestra last year. And we just knew that we'd really hit on something. It was the essence of what we'd always hoped it would be. The orchestra don't feel tokenistic. Squarepusher music is not kind of dumbed down or spoilt by having an orchestra laid into it and over the top of it. Somehow it's a perfect marriage in a way that is very surprising. I mean, an orchestra is full of old-fashioned acoustic instruments. Squarepusher's music is all about state-of-the-art digital process. It's very clinical. It's very, very, very precise. So what happens when you take this acoustic body, the orchestra, and apply it to this very, very kind of, in a way, clinical electronic process? And the answer is, I think, something utterly extraordinary occurs.
London Sinfonietta zaprezentuje swój bardzo znany projekt. Tak naprawdę od niego wszystko się zaczęło, to przełamywanie tych barier i zacieranie granic, czyli Warpworks and 20th Century Masters, gdzie obok utworów Squarepushera, Aphex Twina, Boards of Canada czy Miry Calix usłyszymy m.in. Johna Cage'a czy Steve'a Reicha. Tak więc po raz kolejny te dwa światy się spotkają i tak naprawdę przypomną, jak bliskie są im te wszystkie przełamywania tych barier.
I think this is a really interesting project because it mixes so many different styles together, but all really valid styles. We're not just trying to encroach on different territories. So we have, for example, Ligeti, a much more classic work in the contemporary sense, but then in these what we call disintegrations, taking some amazing electro music, lots of electronically sequenced sounds, which we're trying to recreate in our own way in the orchestra. So it's stepping into different sound worlds, but hopefully bringing something new to them as well. In this context, I feel like I'm really one of the players because it's a very small group. And also, you know, I sometimes feel that with a very large ensemble like an orchestra, I have more of an important role in a direction sense, you know, in an not authoritarian, but you know, I am leading the rehearsal very much. With a small group of incredibly skilled players like these, it's more of a team spirit, I think, and I'm just trying to do everything that they need from me to help them play as well as they can.
I'm a big fan of Sacrum Profanum. I think it's a wonderful festival. I've played here before and I really love the audience that you guys attract here. It's an audience of people who are quite open, but also quite sophisticated. They're engaged, they're interested, they want to find new sonic fusions, new sonic adventures. So I feel this is the perfect place to be doing this project.